There's this assumption that's just kind of baked into the DNA of almost every business. If you want better quality, you have to spend more money. It feels like an unbreakable rule, doesn't it? You want better materials, more skilled people, tougher inspections, all of that costs more. But what if that entire idea, that belief we all hold, was just completely wrong?
I mean, really think about that for a second. Is it an ironclad law that better must cost more? Today, we're going to dig into a really powerful business philosophy that didn't just question that idea, it turned it completely upside down.
And this slide really lays it all out, the two opposing views. On one side, you've got the traditional way of thinking. Quality is an expense. It's a cost center. But then, on the other side, this radical idea pops up. The real expense is poor quality. That just flips the whole script, right? It reframes quality not as something that costs you, but as something that makes you money.
And the guy behind this radical idea? A quality guru named Philip Crosby. He looked at how everyone thought about quality and came back with a stunning, simple two-word rebuttal. It's free.
And look, Crosby wasn't just some academic thinking this up in an ivory tower. No way. He was a vice president at the massive corporation ITT for 14 years. So he was coming at this from a hardcore corporate insider's perspective. He argued that managers should go after quality not because it's the nice thing to do, but because it's fundamentally profitable. It makes the company cold, hard cash.
And this quote gets right to the heart of it all. See, you don't spend money to get quality. You waste money every single time you fail to get it. All that time and effort spent finding and fixing mistakes, redoing work, dealing with unhappy customers, that's where the real cost is, hiding in plain sight.
To make all those hidden costs totally visible, Crosby gave them a name. He called it the price of nonconformance.
So what is PONC? Well, put simply, it's the bill for all your screw-ups. It's the exact dollar amount you can put on every mistake, every do-over, every single time something doesn't meet the requirements. And this was a genius move because it takes quality out of this vague, fuzzy place and puts it right where management can't ignore it, on the financial statements.
And when Crosby actually started adding this stuff up, the numbers were just staggering. He figured out that manufacturing companies were wasting up to 20% of their sales revenue just by doing things wrong. I mean, think about that. For every $5 that come in the door, $1 is just getting thrown in the trash because of mistakes.
And for service businesses, it gets even worse. They could be bleeding up to 35% of their entire operating budget on fixing errors and redoing work. I mean, these aren't small amounts. We're talking about massive company-changing holes in the bottom line.
This chart shows you exactly how it works. Okay, look at those two huge bars on the left. That's where companies usually spend their money. Failure costs, like rework, and appraisal costs, like inspections. Now look at that tiny little bar for prevention. Crosby's big insight was that if you just spend a little bit more on that small prevention bar, you don't just lower the other two, you absolutely crush them. That small upfront cost is nothing compared to the massive savings, and it proves his point. Quality literally pays for itself.
So, okay, how do you actually do this? Well, Crosby didn't just point out the problem. He gave everyone a roadmap. He created this really clear framework he called the 4 absolutes of quality management, basically a system to make quality free.
Okay, absolute number 1 is all about clarity. Crosby said, listen, quality is not some fuzzy idea like excellence or goodness. It's super simple. Did the thing you made meet the requirements you set out beforehand? It's a yes or a no. That's it. This makes quality totally objective and measurable. It's not a matter of opinion anymore. The second absolute is all about being proactive instead of reactive. Stop building a system designed to catch mistakes after they happen. That's like hiring a team of firefighters to live in your wooden house. Instead, you design your process to be fireproof from the get-go. The whole system has to be focused on preventing defects, not just finding them.
Now this one is probably his most famous and, most controversial absolute. The only acceptable performance standard is 0 defects. Not pretty good, not 99% perfect. The goal is perfection. And you might ask why? Because the second you aim for anything less, you're literally giving people permission to make mistakes. You're building waste right into your system.
And the fourth absolute, well, it ties everything together. How do you measure all this stuff? You measure it in the language every business understands, money. The only real way to measure quality is the price of nonconformance. This makes sure that everyone, especially top management, stays laser-focused on the financial impact of getting things right. So, when you actually put all four of these absolutes into practice, the way you think about things just completely changes. Quality stops being a line item on the expense report and shows itself for what it really is, one of the best investments a company could ever make.
It really all comes down to this one simple, powerful truth. Every single dollar you put into preventing mistakes saves you a mountain of cash in rework, scrap, and lost customers down the road. It is always cheaper to do it right the first time.
And the results, they're not just abstract ideas, they're real, and you see them almost immediately. All of a sudden, you've got less waste. You're spending less on inspections because your process actually works. Warranty claims just drop. Your customers, they get happier, they stick around. And every single one of those things leads directly to what every business wants: higher profits.
The impact of this thinking has been absolutely huge. I mean, phrases that Crosby came up with, like zero defects and doing it right the first time, they're not just for quality control people anymore. They've become a fundamental part of how we talk about business today, which is a real testament to how powerful his simple idea truly was.
So I'll just leave you with this question, something to think about in your own world. Where are those hidden costs of doing things wrong, in your job, in your company? Because once you start actually measuring that price, you can finally start the journey of making quality free.